As most of the people who know me at all, been around a while, listened to me, heard me, seen me work with hitters and so forth, or on my website know that I talk quite a bit, I've written quite a bit about the notion, the concept of deliberative practice. I've referred to Steve's swing experiment, wherein I went out for over a period of 3 or 4 years, took a bunch of swings, taped all of them, looked at all of them, analyzed them, and from that I took 60 swings of those and turned it into a DVD that I've titled Swing Characteristics of Elite Hitters, where I'm showing, as I say, the functional components that make up a high-level swing. So, and that process involved this concept of deliberative practice, very much so, very focused, very much attentive to details, was very precise in the types of things I was practicing or the types of things I was trying to, as I say, get at with regards to creating, better movement or this kind of movement or that kind of movement and so forth. So that, I certainly personally understand this concept very, very well. Also used it in the context of playing drums, fairly serious hobby of playing drums for well over 40 years. And I did not start to get really better, a whole lot better, until I started really applying this concept of deliberative practice. So I wanted to talk about here one example. Some years back, somebody was talking about this, and they made reference to Tiger Woods. They happened to see him out on the driving range, and so they said, it was amazing. For 45 minutes, I saw him out there, and he never hit a ball. He just was working at the takeaway, various aspects of the takeaway. And I don't play golf, but I do have about 10 books on golf biomechanics, so I'm somewhat aware of the takeaway and so forth. But the bottom line is, the most important thing here, they saw Tiger Woods a certain type of focus. And he was all about, in this period, very, very focused on whatever he was thinking about, whatever he had learned to kind of associate with good feel, better movement, whatever it was, he was doing it over a period of 45 minutes in this context, and he never really hit the ball. So this is a very, people would say, well, doesn't he have to hit the ball to, to get really good? Well, of course he does. And of course he has. But the point is, sometimes you have to step back from, doing the whole product, or the whole, in this case, the whole golf swing. You may need to stop and kind of break it down. You may need to stop and focus on some particular aspects of whatever it is you're working at. Because there's no question deliberative practice is a function of understanding with some degree of precision details about what you're trying to do. And either through conceptual kind of awareness, or the most common thing with athletes is a certain type of feel. They're associating some type of movement, some type of feel, and then that feel is associated with good production or good performance, right? And this is a whole process that you have to develop over time. As I've said, good athletes are creatures that are functioning at a relatively high order kind of kinesthetic awareness. So many times, this is going to be a function of effective practice, deliberative practice, focused practice, having aspects of some kind of fairly rigorous plan. As I mentioned in another context, watching a guy swing, had some flaws, teenage guy, went up to him and said, what are you working on? He said, well, I'm working on my swing. Okay, well, what, is there anything in particular? Again, I've seen some flaws, and I'm kind of wondering as to whether or not this guy knows has any awareness of these flaws. So my conclusion is no, he doesn't, he didn't, and he probably still doesn't, because just working on the swing, that's not good enough for 99.9% of the people. It has to be more thoughtful and more focused and more detail-oriented than that. So I just wanted to bring this example of Tiger Woods to the foreground a little bit as yet another example of this very, very interesting, useful concept of deliberative practice.